Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes, yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah, Manifestations 2020 in the what's cracking?
Yeah.
All right, that's what it is. It's your boy Major Gage. I am here with my mans in them. I got Anthony Malcolm right there. I got Bobby Drake right there. And we are Manversations 2020. Look like we got a birthday in the house, so we might as well start off with that. Happy birthday, Bobby Drake. Yeah. All right.
One time for the one time.
All right.
You know, my birthday was... Bobby? I am 30 great, baby. I am 30 great.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what's up, man.
And my
no, look, they over 32.
Thank you, Callie. You know, our birthday was the beginning of the month, but if you're part of my philosophy, then you recognize that the whole month is your birthday. So every day I wake up, it's my birthday. Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's all valid, baby. It's all valid.
I see you. I see you, dog.
Shout out to you. Thank you, sir. Praise God for more life. And we're looking forward to more wealth, more opportunities, more gratitude, more chances to give, more chances to be of service, to be of use, more chances to make a difference, because that's what it's about. I mean, yeah, people get gifts, they get money, they get all kind of accolades and everything on their birthday, and that's great. It's beautiful. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate the people around you, because especially for a lot of us, when were growing up, a lot of the friends and family, they dropped off by the wayside. Some people cut down a little too soon. So yes, we should take the chance to celebrate and enjoy the newness of life and the remembrance of our birthdays. But the reason why you still have life and breath in your bodies, it's not so you can go ahead and wear things like this. I like this. I do this. I do this. But it's not about this. It's not about gifts. It's about taking the life that you have and using it to make a difference, making it so other people's lives can suck less. So my vow, my pledge every single year is that as long as God sees fit to keep blood pumping through this body of mine, I'm going to do what I can to give the devil hell. And I'm going to do what I can to go ahead and make a constructive difference in the world wherever the hell I'm at. If you toss me someplace, if you toss me in the sea, God damn it, I'm building an oasis. What's up? That's where I'm at with it.
All right. That's what it is.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Shout out to Bobby Drake in the building, celebrating birthdays and shit. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Well, what you got, man? Talk to me.
Shout out to Bobby for accomplishing his stripes on his belt. So you know that was a big up thing, Much respect to that. People don't understand, like, when you enter art forms and those teachings, that they mean a lot more through your developmental stages, your growth, perspectives, alignment. So when you get when you graduate from stage to stage, it's a huge accomplishment because it's a lot of sacrifices in order for you to achieve those things and those levels of how they go about excelling and the progress you have to do in that. So yeah, shout out to you for that. 2025, man, was definitely a year that when you look back on it, it came by fast. We didn't even know. By the time you blink, it's at the end of the year. We here now, Yeah. And I'm glad I haven't seen a lot of new me posts.
I hate that shit.
It's starting to die.
You spoke a little soon.
Starting to die down. It died down. I think it died down because they would have started it since November. That normally was but I see a lot of people dying down and realizing that you don't have to wait till the next year to be the person you want to be. Like, you're programming yourself in that way. So that means every end of the year, you choose to get right. And that's not how you make a year be as powerful as you need it to be. So, take the steps and the progress during the year to correct yourself. So by the end of the year, you get to chill. You ain't got to focus on writing out or mapping out a plan. You already did it throughout the whole year. So now you get to chill and enjoy the fruits of your labor heading into the new year. I think the only thing that you should be doing is the annual, seeing what you got, get rid of it, basically emptying out the house to bring in the new stuff for the house, the traditional cleaning. But outside of that, you should already be maintaining yourself throughout the week and the year. So that's all I have to say for that.
No, that's facts, man. I think that we need to take care of idea of being able to move in the now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically what both of y'all just said. Let's do it. If we are talking about doing this, and you know, this is our intention, and you know, we're trying to get to this place. Now, let's start doing things deliberately and intentionally right now. You know, it ain't got to be perfect, but you can start it today. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a very important message because a lot of times we procrastinate ourselves right out of any progress that we could have made. We procrastinate ourselves right out of any progress we could have made because we keep bullshitting and making excuses and, you know, oh, well, I got to wait till, you know, this get done and that get, man, just do it. It's really not that complicated.
Squeeze the trigger.
There it is. It's not that complicated, man. And a lot of times, the right now is when you need it the most, you know, or somebody else might need it. Somebody else around you might need that blessing, and you holding on to it because you don't feel it's perfect enough to give right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I always say that perfect is not the enemy of good. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can put it out and it's good, put out something that's good, perfected along the way, and it'll be more inspiring to you too because you get to see the fruits of your labor right then. You know what I'm saying? Instead of waiting and thinking what it might be, whatever the case may be. So we're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff today because we got a whole bunch of material. You know, going back over 2025, it's been a hell of a year. Man, I comprised a couple of lists and I kind of want to go over them. You know what I'm saying? I created a top 20. I'm sure I left some people out because there's so much that went on this year. So I want y'all to chime in, you know, as y'all feel and let me know what I left out, what made, you know, what maybe I put somebody on there that don't belong on there. You know, y'all check my list and y'all let me know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to do the biggest winners of 2025 or the biggest losers first? Which one you want to do first?
Let's do the suckers first, so then we can kind of wash the ick out of our mouths going forward.
Okay. We're gonna do 2025 biggest losers. Bet that up. All right, this is my list of the 2025 biggest losers. All right, not in any particular order. Not in any particular order, but I had to start off in big capital letters with Diddy. Yo, I don't know who Diddy pissed off, but yo, you don't need to piss them off no more. You need to get out of jail, shut the fuck up, be quiet, sit down, and eat your applesauce, boy.
I know who he pissed off. I'll give you a hint too. Does it look familiar?
Hey, look, man.
G-Unit.
Listen, that's a thing too. That we're gonna talk about that a little bit too. We should do a whole show breaking down that documentary when we come back.
Ooh, yeah.
So, you know, right now, because of the timing, it's a little off, whatever. But Diddy, by leaps and bounds, to me, was the biggest loser of 2025. God damn.
Legendary fail.
What?
Legendary the fail whale was massive. That's Shamu, boy.
Come on, man. I mean, you got a whole, after you got just publicly dragged and humiliated with all your antics, then you got the trial, you got found guilty, you got sentenced, you understand? And now you got 50 Cent on your ass. It's a whole documentary about your ass. This man will never live this shit down. I don't know if he's better off in jail or out at this point. It's crazy. Diddy's the biggest loser of 2025, period, from where I sit. And Shannon Sharpe is right behind him. All right? You know what I'm saying? Like Shannon Sharpe, he's been very quiet lately. That's good. He need to kind of sit down, stay out of the way, whatever the case may be, because his loss, that was another one that was just, it was legendary. It was a generational loss. It was just, damn. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie Kirk is another one. He lost. I say Charlie Kirk lost so big because he also lost his life. You know what I'm saying? On top of some other things that we lost. We got a clip from Charlie Kirk as well. We're going to go into a little bit so that we can remember how racist his ass was. You know, and that, you know, that's part of it. You know, the legacy you leave behind is very damning. Snoop Dogg, big one. Nicki Minaj, big one. Tory Lanez, Rhoda Bash. Remember the brick lady? Lady got hit in the face with the brick. Her ass is in jail now for lying through her goddamn teeth. That's an L. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, oh my God, I've never seen more deplorable online behavior. You talking about and shitting on each other's kids? Bruh, what Umar Johnson he's out of chances at this point. God bless him, Umar's out of chances. You know, everybody has figured out the grift and people are on his ass right now, as they should be. Donald Trump, major losses in 2025. His whole party's basically turning on him at this point. Yay, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. His ass can't seem to get it together. Sha'Carri Richardson, we got to see the hood rat up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? She beating on her boyfriend and shit. Fat Joe got exposed. Thank God they took his ass off the BET Awards. Every time you see Fat Joe, that people dragging his fat ass. I love it. Meg Thee Stallion got exposed for the hood rat and the fraud she is. Lil Wayne put out a trash ass album. My God, it shit was whack. Krishan Rock is out here threatening Blueface. She just got smacked upside the head the other day by some Crips. Summer Walker showed us the sleaze bag she is. Young Thug got caught gossiping like a bigoted bitch. And Drake, nobody cares about Drake no more. You know what I'm saying? So this is my top 20 list of some of the people that's in here. What do y'all think? What do y'all feel about this list? Did I leave anybody out? Is there anybody that you want to expound on in particular? I mean, there's some L's on this list. What y'all saying, man?
I don't know. I think you saying Diddy took the biggest L in 2025. I think Drake took the biggest L in 2025, to be honest.
Really?
I don't think nobody took a bigger L on this list than Drake.
Really? How?
Because he got shot off the map heavy, and the way Kendrick just destroyed him on the national NFL platform, yo. That shit was horrible, yo. Like that's one of the biggest tanks ever. Like he thought he was really, really untouchable. And he went from being on top to like nobody fucks with Drake like that.
Yeah.
And that shit is that is a hell of a drop from on top to on Supreme to like nobody fucks with you. And they like every time you do something now, you like not even looked at as credible because then you tried to sue a dude over battle rap, which has never been done before. Yeah, I would put Drake as the biggest L. Diddy shit is just coming out into details. It's just still fresh in the end of 2025. But Drake had to ride out the whole goddamn year humiliated by Kendrick.
Okay. All right. I mean, at least Drake still got his freedom. He just been publicly humiliated and he fell off, but Drake still got his freedom. He's still out here in these streets, at least for now. I think Drake is going to have the biggest fall off in 2026 because I think that Drake is next. So we'll see. But okay, that's an interesting perspective. All right. Yeah, he definitely, his loss is definitely up there. His L was also a generational L. I mean, like he fell from off the sun and like he fell off the sun to the pits of hell. You know what I'm saying? Like it's big. You know what I'm saying? But he's still the most streamed artist for this year. You know what I'm saying? He's allegedly, you know, they be botting his shit or whatever, but you know what I mean? He's still at least got his freedom. You know what I'm saying? And people don't, you know, the accusations of liking BBCs aren't out there on Drake yet. You know what I'm saying? So I hear you though. I hear you. Bobby, what you saying?
I definitely think that there's somebody that got left off that should have been added to the list, but in all fairness, he was a very much of a late entry.
Who do you mean?
But sweet baby Jesus on Black Friday.
It's a few I left off, I know.
Oh, Mr. Sharon Moore, come on down. The price is actually wrong.
Yeah.
The price is wrong.
His bitch ass.
This nigga. I gotta go with hitting Little Richard Tone's voice.
Yeah. This cool ass.
Boy, I don't know how you legendarily stank it up.
They just
they did horrible for rivalry week.
Yeah.
Definitely murked that. And then he decided, you know what? We're not just gonna lose that game. I'm gonna lose some personal games in my own life. Man was situated by probably a lot of the interracial Negroes on the top of the ladder. He had it made. He had himself his sweet little white trophy wife with his little children and everything. Man had himself a nice, sweet, creme de la creme, prestigious coaching gig. And arguably one of the top 10 most coveted coaching gigs to have, University of Michigan. That's big, strong alumni support, strong school support, strong everything. Really nice gig. And he wanted to go ahead and be avaricious with it. And he even got himself a nice, sweet little trophy side piece as well. And man completed everything possible wrong. And I said this before, look, and this is in no way, shape, or form advocating for infidelity. Not my bag. You're never going to hear that from me. But what I'm going to say is all of us that came up, it don't matter if you was watching hood drug movies, if you was watching mafioso flicks, gang flicks, everybody learned by watching those coming up subconsciously. You don't keep the cash and the dope, the guns and the dope. You don't keep it all in the same room. He went and had an on-the-job fling with a subordinate, not even someone that was at a senior level or in a different area, subordinate, and then got his spot blown up by DoorDash. If that ain't a legendary L, I don't know what is. DoorDash, Grubhub got the spot blown up because you being backhanded with the company card. You're come on, what are we doing?
Legendary.
And then crashing out afterwards, getting himself busted and arrested and everything. Man facing a felony charge. Dude.
Legendary dumbassery. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is what he do. What can you say? You can't get stupid on that level.
I'll give him credit, though. That man said, you know, we're going to end the year on a high note. He did that. I don't know if anyone possibly could have had a worse month in the last decade than this guy did, but he decided this was definitely going to be a December to remember.
Outrageous.
Woo!
Outrageous. This dude, yeah.
My Lord. My Lord.
Yeah, it's a couple of them that I wanted to put on there. It's just like I couldn't fit everybody on there. Let me tell you something. I wrote this list in less than 5 minutes. It might have took me 3 minutes to write this list. I had to search for the winners of 2025. I had to really work on that. This
is where the action was at.
This is where the action was at. That should tell you a lot. We have a lot more losers out here than we have winners. We got a lot more of these little bullshit stories like this than we have of brothers that's coming out here and really doing shit and doing the work and putting points on the board for the community. We got way more of this type of bullshit, and that's part of the reason I wanted to do this show, because we have to not only remember all these different people and all their degenerate activity, but remember the lessons that we were supposed to take from them. You understand what I'm saying? And like when I look at all these people, the thing that jumps out at me the most, you know, it's like, okay, as far as a lesson that we need to remember is be humble. You know what I'm saying? Be humble. Don't allow your ego to get the best of you, because a lot of these people on this list, most of these people on this list, they have some type of God complex that they attain through fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they just feel like they can't be touched. Diddy's probably the number one. Shannon Sharpe also. Hell, Charlie Kirk even. Just about all of these people up here. They feel like they can't be touched. No matter what I do, people always gonna rock with me because I am this person. I am me. You know what I'm saying? And that's been the downfall of a lot of these people. Their behavior is such that they feel like they're beyond reproach. You know what I'm saying? And we need to stay on top of our shit, check ourselves, because and let's stay away from keeping these yes men around us too, because any one of these people, if they had some quality, solid ass people around them, they wouldn't have gotten in trouble that they got in. 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Somebody to hold them accountable. So let's try to avoid those pitfalls going into the new year You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all out there, if I'm keeping it a buck, y'all mimic y'all mannerisms after celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Y'all behavioral patterns after celebrities. Y'all speak in Instagram slang. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that ain't no kind of way to be. But this list is very, very telling. Okay, so now, all right, we done talked about the dregs of society, right? Okay, we done talked about the biggest losers of 2025. Now I want to go ahead and bring up the biggest winners of 2025. We actually had quite a few. When I started really thinking on it, you had to turn the wheels to get the winners. But there was some real winners in 2025 too. We gotta acknowledge them as well. Shout out to the biggest winners of 2025. Gotta set it off with the boy 50 Cent. 50 Cent has been everywhere in 2025, and really for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? If I'm keeping it a buck, for the last 5 to 7 years, 50 has been winning non-stop. Just win after win after win. That boy's putting points on the board. He got a whole power universe out here. You understand what I'm saying? Now he's doing documentaries. People talk a lot of smack about the documentary. Those of you that don't want to be held accountable and probably doing some weird shit yourselves, Marlon Wayans, shout out Marlon Wayans. You know what I'm saying? People talk a lot of shit about documentary, but a lot of people that talk smack about it didn't even see it. Didn't even give it an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a very well done documentary. Even if you feel a way about it, you can't knock the work. So winning right now, bro. Real talk.
Very
Big
thorough.
winner 2025. T-Pain. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but yo, T-Pain just slowly out of nowhere crept back up into the fold, man. Like, T-Pain got a song out with a big song with what's her name? The one with all the tattoos, Summer Walker. Got another big ass song with Glorilla. He has his own song right now, Club Husband. Hilarious concept. It's a good little song. It's a little juke song. You know what I'm saying? Okay. T-Pain that made a comeback. Nobody saw it coming, but T-Pain that made a comeback. Kendrick Lamar, it goes without saying. Bro, you called Drake a pedophile at the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just legendary trolling, boy. You can't. That's just diabolical on another level. I mean, this guy's performing at the Super Bowl.
Say, Drake, I heard you like him young.
The smile to this day, that evil ass smile, I love it.
Iconic. Iconic.
GNX is another classic album he released. It's still dominant. They're still playing those songs on the radio. Not Like Us is going on. It's going to be 2 years old soon. It's still playing on the radio. It's a part of the culture now. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. I think he's the greatest of all time. Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate them, but they won the Super Bowl. Oklahoma City Thunder. They won the NBA Finals. Coco Gauff. People, don't talk about this sister enough. She won the French Open. Shout out to our good sister Coco Gauff. All right.
Yes, sir.
Tariq Nasheed. This brother right here continues to win. I just wanted to acknowledge Tariq Nasheed for what he does for the community, for the knowledge that he's bestowed upon us. There's so many things, and I know Black history. So many things I did not know about Black history until I started watching the Hidden Colors series and listening to Tariq Nasheed. He's still getting busy. The Hidden History Museum in LA. Make sure y'all check it out when you go out there. Extraordinary work this brother's doing. He's working on Hidden Colors 6 now. He just dropped American Maroon not too long ago. I think that was his last movie. This brother's kicking ass and taking names.
Oh, no. Wait. Hold on. Whoa there. Don't forget. Microphone check.
Microphone, yes, man. What am I doing? Yes, microphone check was his last movie.
I am my brother's keeper. I can't have you out here looking fugazi, brother. No.
I appreciate
microphone check.
Yes. Tariq Nasheed, microphone check, legendary documentary setting the record straight on hip hop and telling the truth about its foundational Black American roots. Biatch. All right, so smart Black female podcasters, and I'm going to reach out. These ladies are very busy. I reach out to them, and they don't always get back to me or whatever. But I'm going to make a concerted effort to get some of these ladies on with us next year, because people say that women don't hold females accountable, and they don't for the most part. But man, Just the Girl podcast, Dee Dee's Reactions, Chantel Simone, Pink Book Lessons. Yep, these sisters are killer. Lights out, Sabby Sabs on the political level. These sisters are lights out. I'm going to get some of them on the show next year. But smart, and notice I said the word smart. I put the word smart Black female podcasters because we got enough of these goddamn bird brains out here. I like to see the intelligent sisters owning the mic and really putting some positivity out there, you know, to try to guide this misguided energy that we have in the lexicon right now. So we got a lot of those popping right now, and I'm going to go out of my way to get them on. Phillip Rivers is winning. They call Phillip Rivers' ass out of retirement at 44 years old to start for the Indianapolis Colts. That was just so random. I had to throw him in there. I don't know how. And he balled out a little bit today. I don't think they won. But damn, you know, Phillip Rivers looks good for a grandfather out there on the football field. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. Brandy and Monica have a very successful tour going right now. My wife went to it last night. She said it was amazing. Make sure y'all go check that out. Chris Brown had his most successful tour. Shout out to him. Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York. Nobody saw this coming. You understand what I'm saying? This is his first job from what I understand. That's kind of crazy. But call it what you want. He's winning. You know, we'll see what he does. I hope he got a big job on his hands up there. But he won for mayor of New York, beat out Cuomo. And that's crazy. That never happens. Candace Owens. I don't care for Candace Owens, but bro, you can't say she's not winning right now. And she just ripped the bark off Erica Kirk the other day. I'm gonna play that clip in a minute. I love this white on white violence. Shout out to Candace Owens for that, if nothing else. Outkast was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Shout out to them. They are legendary. People forget that because Outkast is so big, they forget that Salt-N-Pepa was also inducted in the same ceremony into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Shout out to Salt-N-Pepa. All right. Michael B. Jordan winning. Ryan Coogler winning. Jamal Roberts, first Black male American Idol since Ruben Studdard. Winning. All right. Beyonce won a Grammy for her country album Cowboy Carter after the Country Music Awards fronted on her. You know what I'm saying? And disrespected her. She won a Grammy for Cowboy Carter in 2025. Winning. Time Women of the Year. Asia Wilson, Jordan Childs, and Raquel Willis. All right. So those are some of the superlatives for this year. Did I leave anybody out? Is there anybody there you want to expound on? Talk to me about it. What's up?
I'm going to remove 12 and 13, but that's my personal opinion. Everybody else is pretty much good.
This is not about, I don't like them either, but they're winning. You can't deny that they're winning.
Nah, they ain't winning.
How they not winning?
Nah, that ain't winning. They are in a moment, but they ain't winning.
I get where you're coming from, and this would be, I can't remember the year, but this would probably be akin to that Time magazine cover back when Bin Laden launched that attack in New York, and they went ahead and decided to make him their person of the year. And a lot of people had pushback because they were like, well, he should be the Time person of the year. He's not a good person, he didn't do anything, and they weren't trying to say that, he was a good person, that he was an honorable person, but they were trying to say that the person that gets this cover, it means that they were the person that had the most influence on the year, the discussions, the politics, the conversations. They were the most active on the people's tongues and their imagination. But some people still didn't like that because they felt like it was giving them praise. So I think that's where your mind is at with it. You're saying that these aren't people that are commendable or worthy of being honored. I'm not trying to put words in, rather, I just think that's where you're coming from with it. And so I agree with you, but I also would see them. I can understand that the case being made for them to be on the list.
Well, this is my thing. I totally understand where you're coming from with that too. I can't disagree that they're kind of like the anti-heroes. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see either of them as being particularly useful to us in Black society. I'm just pointing out the fact that they're winning. And to Bobby's point, they are highly influential people. Doesn't matter if I like them or not. They're highly influential people, and so we should keep an eye on them. That's the significance for me. We need to keep an eye on 12 and 13. I think they absolutely should be here because people really, 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 really listen to those people. I can't stand either one of them. But, you know, unfortunately, our people are not particularly, a good generous portion of our people are not particularly politically sophisticated. And so anybody that smiles and gives a nice speech, they'll vote for them. You know what I'm saying? Candace Owens, I do give her some credit for shredding Erica Kirk, you know what I'm saying, for ripping her a new one. I give her some credit for that and some of the other things that she's done, but she's still Candace Owens. She's still a one-trick pony. She's still a coon, you know, and yeah, but she is winning right now. She is probably, I think she's the most popular. It's either her or what's the guy, Joe Rogan. One of the two are the most watched podcasts, period, right now. And we need to pay attention to that. Not that I'm giving her no props, not that I'm giving him no props. I'm simply saying they are winning, bro.
And another thing pertaining to Candace is, pairing that with something that you mentioned earlier, there's a whole entire MAGA conservative Republican civil war going on right now, where it's nothing but circular fire going on. Everybody got their piece aimed at the person on the left and pulling the triggers, whatever.
Crazy.
And somehow understanding and knowing that white supremacy likes to break its tools, somehow she's proving thus far to be the last tool standing. Yeah. Everybody else is getting flipped up and getting undercut, and a couple of them even tried to go at her neck.
Yeah,
it's not they've been ignoring her. Yeah. Some of them have actually been trying to go after her, and they've had little to no traction or success with it. Meanwhile, they're getting their feet dragged right down into the drain themselves. So, it's interesting, nevertheless. Not sure how all this is going to look when it's done.
Yeah.
But so far, this is shaping up to be interesting. So, again, it's an unconventional victory, but hey, a W is a W. The scoreboard does what it's supposed to do.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not co-signing none of these people. You know,
I ain't putting them on no fucking list. That's just Anthony.
I
love it.
The greatest disdain for Black people. I'm not putting them on the list. I don't give a fuck what they say. And Candace Owens is only doing that shit because she got her ass ripped by the white folks, so she had to act like she's on this Black trend and everything like that. And then she also
always.
No, you're right.
That's the MO.
But the thing about it is that, you know, with Candace Owens, she's laid up with a white dude, and we don't know the extent of the power and the connects and the resources that white guy has, because I believe that her husband is really why her voice is still there and she hasn't been broken as a tool.
Yeah.
It goes deep, man. I do give her props for exposing the shit, but if you're gonna give her props, then you have to come back and you have to throw Trump on this list, because Trump is the reason why Candace Owens is doing what she's doing, because Trump and the small cap people is the ones that set Kurt up to be out of there like that, because they're pushing this controlling narrative about people who go out there and speak, like the Malcolm X's and all these people that will rise up and speak truth to power in public.
Yeah,
they want to put fear that you're gonna get popped. So Kurt was a sacrificial lamb. They brew him. They basically treated him like crop, or I should say livestock. You know, you feed the goat, you get the goat nice fat. Then you end up killing the goat and throwing it in the damn oven and serving the goat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened to Kurt. You know, his own peoples is what got him in the oven, per se. You know what I'm saying? So she, by her being the dude's friend, you know, she said and remember, as much as we threw him on as the biggest loser,
yeah,
you got Candace Owens. This was these were twins. These was people spewing the same ideology and all of that about black folks. So the sentiments that he had is the sentiments she had. And she was like, "Oh, you got rid of one of my peoples." And nah, I get where you're coming from. Yeah. But I just said for me personally, okay, I'm not acknowledging 12 or 13 at all. Zoran, he got in office. That shit, I'm telling people, don't be fooled by that shit. This is that political circus. I tell people all the time, Republicans and Democrats vote each seat in. There are Democrats that vote Republicans in. Don't think that what's that dude, Mitch McConnell, was out here getting votes from the Republican Party. The Republicans in this state ain't like that motherfucker. It's the Democrats and everybody that was voting behind the scenes to keep them people in them seats. That's why these people have them seats for so damn long. And Zoran comes in as the savior. And he also just he put my son on his team now. You know what I'm saying? And I've been going at my son for the longest on IG. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, what the trick is now, they're coming to get all the woke people that have a following. So that way, when they use their agenda, they're using them and they don't even understand you're being used as a Trojan horse. Dude, do you know how dangerous that is? And I'm telling my son this, and he's so clicked in with Tamika Mallory. All they care about is paper and accolades. They don't give a fuck about what do you call it? They don't give a fuck about tangible moves and tangible wins. It's just about having your face out there, getting little claps and applause. You're the modern day.
Look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, you're the modern day Al Sharpton. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Like that doesn't make and I exposed that because if y'all look on my page, on Facebook, I put a video that they don't want you guys to see about Zoran. Zoran sat down in the committee with the small cap people, and those motherfuckers is the most powerful small cap people out there. They already got this man on his side. So when you sit back and talking about you fighting against the small cap people, but yet you in a secret meeting with the small cap people, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing, man. Like it's when I knew something was up, when like I said, it's like his first job. You know what I'm saying? And like look who they're running against him. You know what I'm saying? You're running this guy Cuomo, who left office in disgrace as the governor for sexual harassment and sexual assault charges or whatever the case may be. You kind of know this guy ain't got a chance in hell of winning, so why are you running him? You know what I'm saying? And he had just so much support out of the clear blue. It doesn't feel organic to me. You know what I'm saying? And then after he won, did you see how Trump was just all up his ass? Trump was sitting there like his personal ball tickler. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, damn, bro, like you supposed to be a Republican. Oh man, Trump did everything but give this guy a blowjob once he got elected. You understand? And it's like, dude, that right there, that tells me you ain't on the up and up. And we'll find out the same way we found out with Obama, the same way we found out with Kamala Harris, the same way we found out with insert random bullshit person's name here. We'll find out in the near future. Like you say, he got his affiliations, with Zionists or whatever the case may be. And I suspect that's how he got in. And the bait and switch is coming, guaranteed.
I know it is. I know it is. And the funny part about it is, you got my son,
and it's aimed right at your nuts, and it's just waiting to go.
Yeah.
The thing is, I like my son for his lyrics. He's one of the top 5 underground MCs to me. Yeah. And that's why I be going hard at him on his page, because I'm like, yo, you're a more powerful speaking through through your rhymes and your raps, dog. Don't corrupt that shit getting into the politics, bruh, and rubbing with Tamika Mallory, dog. Your shit is going downhill. You go on his page, man. Niggas is at his throat, bruh. Like, they like how you at for the people, and you are lined up with certain people that doing janky shit.
Yeah.
And you thinking you doing something for the, and you like, nah, I'm out here doing real work and real. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, he's a clown.
All right.
It's very unfortunate. Okay, well, for the most part, y'all agree with my list. And don't like number 12 and 13. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I love the Phillip Rivers. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Even though I know the system of the NFL, why he got that. You know what I'm saying? Because like people were pointing out, you got Cam Newton. You could have put Cam Newton back out there. And there's other black guys. Shit, we could go to Colin Kaepernick. Y'all want to take people out of retirement? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand the politics behind the NFL, but for Phillip Rivers, and the reason why I like Phillip Rivers is because dude is passionate about the game. He really fucking loves the game. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the same way. He had retired and then was like, yo, let me come back and get another ring. He's got that same passion as Tom Brady. So to see him out there throwing around, man, I know he's doing it for the love of it, not for the fame and trying to break records. He just want to come up. It's like, you know, them old folks, when you see them old folks that be inside the job and you be like, damn, motherfucker, retire. And they like, what I'm gonna do? Go home and do nothing? Like,
right.
That's what it seemed like to me.
No doubt. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. Like, look, man, I saw that. I had to throw him up on the list, bro, because I'm like, oh my God, this bro, he's really doing this. When I heard it, I was like, okay, they're gonna try it. It's just a rumor. No, he's on the field and he threw some touchdown passes.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown. Saw that.
Phil has always had a cannon for an arm. He has always had a cannon for an arm.
He a beast, but I mean, he's been away from the game for 5 years. He's 44 years old. I didn't see that one coming.
And he's funny. He's funny as hell because he's a white boy that love to talk shit.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. Yeah, I'm rocking with that, man. I ain't got no
white boy talk shit.
I can't hate the game. All right, so we're gonna drill down into some of the particulars of some of these superlatives and some of these shitty ass references also. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot going on, man. So we gotta talk about it. I want to make sure that we don't forget about this bastard because boy, they tried to martyr this guy, and I don't think if there's anybody in the world less deserving of martyrdom, is this fool right here.
Was hunted at night by Trayvon Martin at 2 a.m. and the stand your ground law allows you to stand your ground up against people that wish you harm.
These blacks trying to go rob her, happening all the time in urban America. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. Black crime is a major issue in our country. Why are you pushing criminal justice reform exactly? Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got raped and she was going to give birth and she would, and she was going to give birth and she was going to live. Would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
But it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered. When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that?
So I'm sorry, are you trying to say that blacks thrive under subjugation?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm asking you the question. The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed.
Because of DEI, it begs the question when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, I wonder, is she there because of her excellence? Or is she there because of affirmative action? It almost creates thought patterns that are not necessarily wholesome. No one really cares when it's HR managers. No one cared when it was, just kind of paper shufflers or even engineers. But now when it's like, wait, hold on a second. You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian. Thomas Sowell and Justice Clarence Thomas are far better black role models to celebrate than Martin Luther King. Period. End of story.
Yeah, I seriously question the intelligence of anybody who rates Charlie Kirk as some type of intellectual. I seriously question the intelligence. This chick, Tay Burke, I don't know if y'all still follow her or whatever, but we got into it about that. And I found out the coon that she was, after playing that reel, and she's still up here caping for it. We have some of y'all niggas out there, you just plantation ready. You understand? And you think that because you hear somebody like Anthony talks about the bullshit burrito, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you some facts, and I'm gonna wrap it in with my bullshit, and I'm gonna present it to you in this burrito, and you're gonna eat the whole thing because you're a dumbass. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be able to discern and know when somebody is being deceptive. Just because somebody's speaking and 60% of what they say is true doesn't make them a truth teller. You understand? A lot of us have an issue with that, and the fact that the person who's presenting presenting the information is white, makes it more complicated for us to use our discernment and call out bullshit when we hear it. If we're gonna keep it a buck, you understand? Mm-hmm. In addition to that, Charlie Kirk, as dumb as he is, he's really good with words. You understand? And a lot of us, because we don't really know what the fuck we're talking about. What's going on, Sister Mila Renee? A lot of us, because we don't really know what we're talking about. A lot of us are like Oswald Bates. You know what I'm saying? The stimulation of the clitoral, nigga. We have to learn what we're talking about. A lot of us have to do some heavy, extensive reading, some heavy, extensive research, and really, grasp what we're trying to say. If you listen to a Charlie Kirk debate, those people that are in the audience, I know people on the right, they would tell me they already pre-selected the people in the audience that he was going to debate. So you think that Charlie Kirk is so brilliant because he took down some moron that he already knew was a moron, might even gave them the dumbass question to ask so that he could look good. You understand? That's how a lot of these so-called town halls, that's how a lot of them work. You understand?
On both sides of the aisle, by the way.
On both sides of the aisle.
Let's make that clear.
Nothing intellectual about Charlie Kirk. Nothing. And you hear his racism. You hear his white supremacy. I mean, it's seething. He has this smug, he had this smug, snarky demeanor. He's not even likable. You understand what I'm saying? But white supremacists, they see that and they gravitate to it because he's sounding smart while he's denigrating black people. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the sweet spot for them. So I wanted to just play that clip so that we could all remember that he had a really, really huge run and he was winning until, he was assassinated, whatever the case may be. I don't wish that on anybody. It is unfortunate, but it's a case of, you've been putting this type of energy out there, and I don't think it's a coincidence at all that he was murdered. As he was murdered, he was still trying to deflect into blaming black people.
Talking shit.
Literally at that very moment. You understand what I'm saying? So we need to be very careful with our words and the things that we put out here and the hatred that we stoke in others, because it's very unfortunate, but no one is bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? I really, really wanted to play that clip so I could talk about one of the biggest losers of 2025. He lost his life, and now everything seems to be falling apart in his organization post his death. So what do y'all think about that? What y'all see? What y'all saying?
So the thing with Charlie Kirk is that, and Candace Owens, and there's so many of them out there. Mm-hmm. You like I always say about the bullshit burrito they feed you, and it is very important that black folks, if you don't know how to strategically have dialogue with those type of people, don't do it, because you're gonna be embarrassed, and then you're also giving them more star patches on their shoulders because you have put yourself in a position to make them look like they're inferior and superior to you, intellectual wise. And in reality, a lot of these people they use word salad. They're more into word salad, spewing word salad than being intellectual.
Yep.
So you have to, there's certain things that they say that is correct. There's certain things Candace Owens said that is correct. There's certain things that Charlie Kirk say that is correct. When they talk about biological men and women, both Candace and Kurt talked about that, and they are correct.
Right.
You can't go against science and anatomy. So when people come to you and they say, because I done had people come to me and say, yeah, so you saying that everything Charlie Kirk was saying you don't agree with? You're trying to say he was saying some lies? And I said, well, you tell me what he say, and I can tell you what the lies is. Because if you go and say, yes, they say lies, then that means they can come to you and say, okay, so you telling me that a man is, this and that, and that's considered a man and that's considered a woman. When he said that, is that a lie? Or no? All right, then. See, I told you he don't be lying. So now everything he says now he gets to throw under as, yeah, he's telling the truth. So that's why you have to strategically dice it up. That's why I always say with the bullshit burrito, unravel it and take out the truth,
the bullshit,
and throw away the garbage, right?
Yeah.
That's how you strategically battle these people. But you have to be an intellectual person that understands facts and don't use emotions. Emotions will never override facts. You'll look like an asshole with your emotions when somebody's spewing facts to you, because then you start to realize that this person is hitting you across the head, and now you're throwing more insults. And if you're battling debating somebody that's not the same race as you, now there's going to be racial epithets thrown at you. It happens all the time. Understand how to strategically engage into dialogue, so that way not only are you debunking them and making them think twice about every black guy, black person, but also make sure that you're aligning it up to let your people also give them a teaching moment on how to do it. And I love how Tariq Nasheed, he takes his platform and he shows you how to exactly do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have learned that, especially the younger generation. Now they know how to strategically have debates with people that come with that type of ideology. So I tell people all the time, be very strategic about how you deal with these people. And if you don't know how to do it, don't do it. Find somebody who does know how to do it and let them do it for you. And I'll land my plane on that. You're muted.
Fair enough. All facts. Go ahead, Bobby Drake. Bobby, what you got?
Ant said a lot of the stuff that I had in mind. Well done. You've been pointing out some good sources. And that also goes back to what our very late and our very great elder Neely Fuller Jr. said. One of the best weapons we have to unpack and to debunk and to hamstring the system of racism, white supremacy, is through the process of questions and answers. You sit back and you ask open-ended questions, not leading questions. You don't go and try to ask them questions like they do in the legal shows. Is it true that you went to 6th Avenue at 8:53 a.m. and ordered a croissant? You don't do that nonsense. You ask open-ended questions. Let them answer. Don't give them any little hints or any lifelines. Nah, I'm just going to ask you point blank. What do you mean by that? And let them flounder and float. Let them stay afloat the best way they can. Let them answer based on what they have in their head and their heart. And based on how they answer, you can ask follow-up questions until you get what you're looking for. And that's how you do that. And Tariq definitely makes a point of doing that on his broadcast when he's live or when he's on TikTok or what have you. And I've seen people in his chat ask, hey, why do you let so-and-so come up? Or why do you let people say X, Y, Z? If they don't understand, this man is using them as a teaching lesson. He's taking this person, this fool, and he's saying, you know what? Put my glass on. Class in session. Chalkboard. Object lesson A. Yes. And that's what's happening. One of the big things that we have to do, and I really want to see this happening more in 2026, I need us collectively to adopt the mindset of SYBAU. Shut your blessed, that's not the actual word, but shut your blessed ass up. Shut your mouth. Shut it. Mm-hmm. I remember when I, actually, no, that's not true. I was going to say when I first got my concealed carry permit a long time ago. It wasn't that. I was at a gun law seminar that was being hosted, shout out to U.S. Law Shield. And it was an attorney, it was a black attorney who was hosting the seminar, and he was talking to us at my Pew Pew Club. And he said one of the first things that he does, because he was talking about some of the features that their carry insurance comes with, but also some of his experiences handling self-defense cases. He said he has a across-the-board, widespread general practice that he has. As soon as he gets a phone call from a member saying, hey, I've just been involved in a self-defense situation, I need an attorney, he said it doesn't matter who it is. It could be an 18-year-old young cat, it could be a 60-year-old man, it could be a sweet little old grandma, it could be a school teacher, it could be a young lady. He said it doesn't matter who it is. He tells them the same thing verbatim every single time. His first response is, in a loud voice, shut the fuck up. I'm on my way. Don't say anything. And he said the reason why he does that is not because he's a vulgar person or because he's a mean-spirited bastard. He said the reason he does it is because in those cases, when you're in a self-defense situation, you've literally been in fight or flight mode. You've had life and death weighing out in your mind. You pull the trigger, and now it's a pretty good chance that you have taken someone's life. Your adrenaline's pumping. Your mind is all over the place. You're a mess. You're really elevated. And now you have law enforcement and other people coming to ask questions, do the investigation. And there's a very real chance and possibility that your first instinct is going to be to kind of decompress, to relax by twerking your gums and flapping your lips, which is the very wrong thing to do. It doesn't matter if you're in the right or the wrong. It's the wrong thing to do. So he says to his clients, shut the fuck up. I'm on my way. Don't talk to anybody. And that's what he does. Far more often than not, throwing your lips in a circle are going to get you in trouble and or undercut your aims and your objectives more than anything else. Shut your mouth up. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We tell our kids this. We need to also embrace this principle as adults. Be quiet. Listen to what's being said. Like Ann said, when these white supremacists are running their mouth and doing all these talking things and everything else, they're going to use word salad. They're going to use funky language. They're going to use terms and speak of philosophies and stuff that you're probably not even familiar with. And as soon as you go talking because you just feel like you have to say something, I'm going to check him, I'm going to put him in his place, you end up looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And congratulations, you've become a stepping stone for them to elevate themselves and look like they know what the hell they're talking about. Meanwhile, you're just like, you don't know what he's talking about. I could have showed him. No, you couldn't have, because you were too quick to do this. Mm-hmm. In every area of life, ease off the gas with this, ease on the gas with this. You will find that, number one, you actually have to talk a lot less if you're honest with yourself.
Bingo.
Okay, I think Bobby's stuck. Okay, Bobby was cooking.
Yeah, he was cooking because he was saying that's exactly what I was telling people. Let them talk, because when they talk,
messed up,
they'll say something that you can use to destroy them without even trying to come up with things. Just use their own information and destroy them. I do it all the time. I talk less now since I've been that mastermind behind the dialogue. I talk less now because I use what they say and debunk them themselves.
Remember Bill Duke of Menace to Society? Came right there running his mouth and everything. Yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, now you know messed up, right? He's like, no, I mean, I was only, you know you messed up, right? You can do that when you do this more and do this less. You don't got to fight every time when you're pulled over by law enforcement for a ticket or something. And you know it's some BS. Don't say that, man, I ain't do nothing, man. That's bogus, man. I'm recording you right here, man. See, I got my phone right here, man. Anything you say, and you hype the situation, shut up. Okay, take the ticket. I'll see you in court.
Generally speaking, black people, we talk way too fucking much without knowing what we're talking about. We have a serious problem with that. Particularly black women. I'm gonna keep it above. You know what I'm saying? I know that people, you hate the women. You already say that shit, so it don't faze me. You know, you already said it, so I might as well give you some fuel for your fire. You know what I'm saying? You can use this on your little bullshit reels. I don't hate women at all, but women in particular, you know, particularly black feminists. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, my God, every time this lady opens her mouth, she shoots herself in the foot. She's lucky she's never gotten on a show with anybody who really knows what they're talking about. Man, they would obliterate this woman. She is, she should be on that list.
Speaking about that, big shot I got tipped by, and also this is killing two birds with one stone. You're talking about someone who should have been on the fail list, but also someone who should be on the win list. Big ups to our beloved sister, Dr. Raquel Martin, for really taking that scallywag half of the task. She made another appearance there on Shannon's podcast.
Okay.
And she was in there running her lips talking about how who was it, Offset, whoever was in her DM, said he had a question to ask her. And she never got around to it. And that was a moment that pretty much 90% of the population probably heard and missed. They just heard, oh, Quavo was jumping in her inbox, whatever, and they kind of left it right there. But the way she surgically dissected that broad with righteous anger, it was something straight about the Old Testament. I was so proud and happy to see it. And she addressed some really serious things about how this woman, first off, she confirmed that this woman is not licensed, which means that she has no board oversight. There's no one able to hold her accountable for how she presents herself.
Yeah.
She got into how she comports herself, how she dresses on these programs, looking to really sell sex pretty much as a means to getting attention. And she also chronicled how what she did was so damaging, how you have this man reaching out to you. You don't know what it was because you never bothered to follow up. Super unprofessional. But on top of that, you're outing, even though there was no client privilege there, this was still a person that reached out to you privately. He didn't go ahead and post you on his page and say, hey, I got a question for you. He reached out to you privately in your inbox.
Right.
And you put him out there.
Facts.
And what does that do to black men who see that, and where they recognize that consciously or subconsciously, they realize if I reach out for help, it's going to be exposed.
Exactly.
When we say we want more black men in therapy, more black men seeking help, and this is what you do just to go ahead and get some viral moments or whatnot ever. Big ups to that sister for going ahead and really throwing them Mike Tyson, Dr. Raquel Martin. She's very thorough.
I tried to get her, I had inboxed her to come on the show. I didn't get a reply back, but she did do
I would love it if we could get her on. She did a phenomenal she's elite.
Job.
She's elite.
The thing about, you know, that girl does, that's why I say, just let people talk, they'll unravel themselves. And I think when she was on Paul Pierce, everything started to unravel. And then now, all of a sudden, you see her throwing out the little pieces and hints of who she was on a date with. And then people got back and pinned it to her being on a date with a stud. So now everything you say now it lines up with you being anti-black, anti-men, anti-black men, right? So it's
the maths.
Now it makes sense why you throw men under the bus, why you try to just be, you don't really have any sympathy or regards for that, because like she said, he came in and like Bobby was saying, he came to you privately and you exposed him publicly to get more notoriety, more financial endeavors, more invites to different platforms to help yourself grow. So it's an egotistical thing. And what I notice is that she goes around low energy men. Shannon Sharpe is low energy. Paul Pierce is low energy. The little goofy nigga that I had outsed on him when he threw what's his name, Derek Jackson under the bus, and I got on his ass on Facebook, and he blocked me, and now he did that podcast going on tour. Ace Metaphor. Yeah. I destroyed him on Facebook, and he blocked me because he's low energy, and a lot of the stuff was coming out that he was out here dealing with a woman, but yeah, he was allegedly sleeping with women from city to city, and she was just watching that. So all of that stuff come out. So it doesn't surprise me because your right hand man you flew under the wings and got a lot of the game from was Derek Jackson. So of course the birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? So he got exposed for that. So when you look at all the low energy men that she comes on these platforms, you see why she selectively goes on platforms. Like Major was saying, you don't see anybody like intellectually wise that's having a dialogue with her. She's always picking these low energy dudes that she feels like she's more intelligent than, and also in a simpish way where anything they say, they're not going to check it. They're going to sit back in awe and promote it and co-sign it. So they're
too busy staring here and using these. To use these and to properly check the stuff.
And like I
she knows what she's doing. Very calculated.
She sounds smart if you're not really listening to what she's saying. There are a lot of women like that out here. I warn guys about those type of women. We've had women like that on the show. They sound smart until you really listen to what they're saying. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to be very, very mindful of that because you know that once you get to the point where you know how to use words where you can have this code speak. You understand what I'm saying? Where you're not really saying anything, but it sounds like you're saying a lot. Like Kamala Harris does that all the time. You understand what I'm saying? And very interestingly, before I move on to the next thing, you know, I just wanted to draw that parallel because we were just talking about white supremacists. Now we're talking about black feminists, and they have the same techniques that they use and a lot of the same talking points if we keep it in a buck. And they're both enemies of black men for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? We need to be very careful of both of them because white supremacists will use black feminists as the weapons against black men and black society. They do it all the time.
And I want black women, please, whatever this fucking nonsense y'all got going on with these nose rings, these bull rings and rings all over your face. Get the fuck rid of that shit. It's not cute. And don't say that men are the reason you're doing it. I don't even want to hear that.
Nope.
I have to agree with Bobby on this one. Yeah.
Nope.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Let it be what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Let the chips fall where they, bro.
Because you see them coming a mile away. You see it, and more broadly, not just them. I hear what you're saying, Ed, but more broadly, not just the septum ring chicks, but just these really angry, misandrous bitches generally. You understand what I'm saying? There's no nice way to say it, you know, and I make a distinction between women and bitches, between sisters and bitches. So don't get it twisted in the car. Oh, see, that he hate the women. Shut up. You understand what I'm saying? There is a distinction, you know, and when it's the same way I like my white supremacists up front where I can see them.
Yes.
I like my misandrists up front where I can see them. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody like Cynthia G, who's encouraging her audience to abort their black male children, needs to be identified. We need to know who she is so we can get the hell away from her. I hear where you coming from.
Put him on the most wanted list, right there, like Bin Laden wanted $10,000 right there at the post office, so we can see who it is.
Yes, because they look just like a normal chick, you know what I'm saying? But they have these little markings that let you, just like the hood rats. They have these little markings that let you know that they're a hood rat. I actually prefer it that way because we can pick them out of a crowd of 1,000, and those particular women are enemies of black society. And I'm gonna do some videos soon. I'm gonna put them all out there. I've been finding some nasty stuff online. There was a group of them sitting there talking to a white man, asking this white man to help them eliminate black men.
In Clubhouse. Yep.
Dude.
Yep.
These bitches are literally sitting up there talking to a white man, asking him how he can help them eliminate black men.
And that was not a troll. That was not a joke. They were dead ass serious.
It was a group of them. Bro, you have no idea. I'm gonna start putting up some videos in these next couple of weeks. I've been seeing some outrageous stuff. This other woman telling her talk about how she's gonna vasectomize her son, and she's encouraging her up. I'm telling you, yo, these women are unhinged.
These misandrists are dangerous. It's not an innocent little. It's not a little teenage rebellious angsty thing, or it's a we're just bitter. No, this is for real.
Serious. It's on another level, bro. And I'm gonna start putting up those videos. But let me just move on. You know, we could go on that all day, but I just wanted to talk about that real quick so we can see. Also, like I said, I just want to make sure I show it. You know, shout out to our sisters Aja Wilson and our sisters Jordan Childs, you know, for being Women of the Year Time Magazine. Shout out to that. Every now and again they get something right. You understand what I'm saying? I like to celebrate sisters. When I see a sharp fly sister that's got talent and I see her getting accolades and I see her getting respect, I'll take that every time, even if it is from Time Magazine. So shout out to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of blowback. You know, again, we're talking about the winners and the losers of last year. I definitely want to talk about this. We can't leave this out. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this guy is the biggest loser as far as I'm concerned. And we gotta talk about him. All right? So yeah, without further ado.
That footage of Diddy.
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
The recordings give viewers an intimate look at Combs' mindset ahead of his criminal trial, even conversations with his legal team.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps.
What was he intending to use it for?
I have no idea what he was doing that for.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a man who films himself doing everything and has for decades. I think he wanted someone to be behind the scenes with him.
Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News today, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix. Netflix referring NBC News to a statement from Stapleton in which she said they lawfully obtained the footage. After a nearly 8-week trial, Combs was acquitted of the more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering and sentenced to 50 months in federal prison for 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. For 50 Cent, he says he feels a sense of obligation.
Well, you know, if I didn't say anything, you could assume that all of hip-hop culture is comfortable with his actions.
Well, see, this is my thing. That last line, oh!
Curtis Jackson.
Shots fired. Oh,
Curtis, you know, I'm convinced in another life, maybe in the Marvel or DC cinematic universe, Earth 219 or Earth Alpha Gamma Centauri or something, 50 Cent was probably the real life Balrog.
Bruh.
He was probably the Mike Tyson of that universe. And he probably was eviscerating people's internal organs with every single shot because this man does not. I gotta be honest, man. And I read the book. Yeah. I've read the 48 Laws of Power and I read the 50th Law.
Okay.
And if there was ever an avatar for those principles, if there was a Catholic saint, that Catholics have to pray for to embody the principles of the 48 Laws of Power, it would be Curtis Jackson's smiling face in the figurine right there.
Yeah. I mean, smile.
That brother, every single thing.
With a smile. Oh man,
grinning. And the funny thing is, I actually when I forgot which one, when he was going in Marlon's neck, I actually sat back and I actually paused for like about a good 5 minutes on IG when I was writing my comment, and I just went to double check to look up just to make sure I was looking through them all. And in the way he was responding, I was able to highlight in 5 minutes, probably could have been a lot more if it took more time, no less than a good solid 8 of the 48 laws that dude was embodying right there. Chief among them, do not look to wound your enemy. Take them out.
There it is.
And I said, every time when you have crossed him, unless you've made amends, if that's even possible with him, once you're on that side of the fence, it doesn't matter if you're dead and gone. He will take every opportunity to do donuts over your grave. Irving Gotti, goofball, simping, muckety muck ass, is has well fed the ground and the daisies by now. And this man's still taking dumps on his grave.
Crazy.
He don't care. Ja Rule missing opened his mouth for 3 seconds, and he doesn't have to say that. Everyone's like, bro, he already killed you, man. Dude, come on, man.
You
about to go on tour. You really want him to buy out your front row again and no one's in the front? It's like he is on, and I applaud that because, again, whatever you're going to take your task to, you take it to task. You do it, and you do the job well. If you're gunning for the king, you cannot miss.
Facts. That's how it is. That's how it goes.
It's beautiful. That's how it should be done. That's business right there. Yes, sir.
Very well said. And that last line is everything. I stand on that principle. I'm of the presence of mind that somebody should have made this documentary a long time ago. Somebody should have called this dude out 20 years ago. Black folks, I don't know what it is with us, man. We like to wait until white people give us permission to be upset about something before we offended. You see what happened with R. Kelly. I literally had a woman who was in my inbox trying to get tickets to the goddamn R. Kelly concert 6 months prior, posting, talking about, that R. Kelly, he did, he this, he that. I can see, do you know I can see you? I still got the messages in my inbox. That damn R. Kelly, he's a pedophile, he this. We know that shit since the 90s. But now since white people got Surviving R. Kelly out, now you feel permission to be upset. Now you got permission to be upset from Massa. And so now you hate R. Kelly. You was just asking for VIP tickets because I was still promoting clubs at the time. You was just asking for VIP tickets. You got some tickets? Now you hate R. Kelly.
Boy, I don't want to hear. And that's why, especially when that whole thing was going down, I was extra swinging my nuts around. I didn't want to hear anyone say anything to me because if I can't see track records of you at that man's neck from back in the 2000s when that came out, I don't want to hear nothing from you now. There's absolutely nothing that was revealed with all those legal proceedings or the documentaries. Nothing that was laid out that was brand new in terms of revelations of who he was. For God's sake, we had video of this man assaulting a minor. We had that. We saw that. We knew that. It was legitimate. There were jokes even being made about it. And now all of a sudden he's supposed to tell me this documentary taught you something and has you look at him in a new light? No. What it showed is that you are a good dog and white mommy and white zaddy are required to get you to jump. You don't dance unless they put on the phonograph. You don't bark unless they say speak. And you don't go eating unless they pour out the kibble and bits. And no matter if a black person do it, you'll be starving, mouth drooling right there. And if they don't say, go eat, boy, go eat, girl, you ain't gonna do it. You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
Well, here's the kicker. Y'all better grab y'all pads out and see who's gonna flip flop because there's reports that R. Kelly about to be released from prison.
Oh, it's coming. Oh, he's coming. He's coming out. He'll be out.
No, yeah, they were just saying that. I just saw the article recently. He's getting out on a technicality or something like that. They redacted and said that those charges weren't supposed to be trumped on him. So he'll be getting out of jail soon.
I'm sure he will.
That whole jump was nonsense. Not because he's innocent, but I mean, for starters, and I still don't understand this. You literally, the American injustice system might have had its greatest goof up with that. You literally have a case that is built on testimonies from relatives, parents who traffic their children, and they're not sitting behind bars because you just want to get our well, we can't put them behind bars because if we do that, we can't get our kids. So you're going to overlook that these parents traffic their children, and in some cases they still have custody of them. But this is about justice. My face.
Hey,
Make me
also,
sick.
I just forgot. Also, the black guy, the black escort from the Diddy joint, he's going after Cassie. Now Cassie's lawyering up. Y'all saw that?
And I hope he's successful too, because he has the point.
And I want to see what the reaction is, because are you going to be gender biased?
You supposed to let me put this shit up, man. I got the damn clip, man. You gonna
I didn't even know y'all was
come on, man. Cassie hires lawyer as escorts lawsuit moves forward. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Yeah. What he said. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Ed is calling out my whole show before I even put the shit out.
My bad, because we were talking about the hypocrisy.
You forgot this is Negro Damas up here.
I'm just saying, he's that thorough, man.
No, man, you talk about when we call out people, we call out hypocrisy because we see it all the time. And now you notice it dropped, and we're talking about it, but it ain't make public fire yet.
How about that?
So you can't talk about y'all want justice when justice is only biased based on gender. Don't do that. If you want justice for all. You know what I'm saying? She got her justice from Diddy. She got the money and all of that, and she was cool with that. That was her justice, right? We couldn't tell. We can't say what her justice was. She felt like she got her justice, her $20 million and everything else, right? That was her justice. Now you got to let this man get his justice. And all that stuff came out in the court, what she was culpable with and what she did to this man.
The shots
so
that she was calling.
her accountable for her actions, because Diddy got held accountable for his actions towards her. She has to be held up for her actions towards that gentleman.
Let's see just how much support there is for sex workers after all.
Hold on. How about that, right? Hold on. Let's bring it back so we're reminded of what went down. Let's bring it back so we're reminded.
The man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who would choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her.
After that brother, man, look, all right? Boy, look at here. He lit it up. You understand? And what he's going through, you know, you really see the hypocrisy and the misandry in some of these bird-ass women. When there's a male victim, nobody cares. Nobody even wants to hear what he has to say. Nobody, literally nobody's talking about it. There are several articles out about this. Where's the outrage? You understand what I'm saying? There is no outrage because unfortunately in this society, people are so fucking stupid that they have to be told when to be upset about something. You understand what I'm saying? You should be as upset about what happened to him as you were about what happened to Cassie. If you were fair, if you were fair-minded and you didn't have an agenda, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, these people who want to be professional victims and they always find, you know, the victimhood in something as, you know, a rallying cry. You know, that's why some of the people, even some of the people that we know y'all rock with, I can't fuck with them because they look at the victimhood side of shit as a rallying cry. They might be nice people, they might mean well, but nigga, that is a very damaged person. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned, you know, that you can't keep those type of people too close around you, man. They're very, very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And this right here, this is going to be very messy. You know what I'm saying? So I thank Anthony for that segue. He's so sharp. He knew what the hell I was going to put up before I even put it up. And he started going there. So I had to go ahead and bring it up. But yeah, you can go ahead. I know he got his tapped into his
boy, see in the future.
I love it.
What I was gonna say is the fact that I'm very mad and I'm very pissed off about when people brought up the whole R. Kelly thing, right? And people were mad about R. Kelly. Yeah. And one thing I noticed, we brought up the fact that a lot of people brought up the fact that R. Kelly was a victim. What people don't highlight, like, yes, we understand his villain role, but let's go back to the victim role, because what makes the victim role just as serious as his villain role is he got preyed, molested, and turned into that by an older woman. And you don't think that's not serious? Okay. What about when you guys were on what's his name bumper? The pastor that was Eddie Long. Y'all was on Eddie Long's ass when he was out there going with multiple young boys. Y'all was on his ass about that, right? Because he was going and he was damaging so many young boys and hiding behind the ministry. How many guys, young boys, do you think that R. Kelly's villain has been out there molesting? You think that R. Kelly was the only one? That lady probably did that to about anywhere from 20 to 100 people, because that was way back when R. Kelly was younger. So he's old. He's up in age now. How many years has this lady went under the radar and has done this to so many men out there? And y'all complain about so many men being sexual villains like R. Kelly, but how many women are behind those guys creating those R. Kellys? So if you want people to stop being R. Kellys, then you need to really dive into seeing where the root comes from. And more than likely, it would trace back to a lot of these perverted women who prey on young boys, because now you're starting to see an increase of a lot of teachers going into jail. We just had a principal that just went to jail for having a young boy massage her feet, calling him sexual chocolate, and then massaging his shoulders and saying, this is how you should massage, and I'm preparing you for women when you get older. And rightfully so, the principal, because she was the vice principal, the principal had reported her, and she ended up going to jail. So there's so many female predators out there, and I see a lot of y'all women are out here getting young guys, and some of it is very alarming of how young you're going.
Yeah, facts.
So that's the elephant in the room that we're not discussing. That is part of the problem to these these guys who are very sexual villains terrorizing our community.
Yep.
Their co-enabler is women tied to the end of the rainbow.
Yeah, that's how that shit is.
1in6.org.
No lies told.
1in6.org. 1 in 6 men have been, at least 1 in 6 men have been sexually abused or assaulted before their 18th birthday.
That's wild.
And that is across racial demographics. We're talking white, black, Native American, Hispanic, you name it. And unfortunately, as we know, very often, when other people catch a cold, we tend to catch pneumonia. So you can imagine that number is even much higher for us. It's probably more like 1 in 4, if not 1 in 3.
Yeah, you know it.
And then and then like Anson, I'm glad you said that, brother. I'm glad you wove those strings together because it needs to be done. And then we'll have women today complaining about the sexual practices and the sexual habits and the mindset of men, the inability to be faithful and monogamous, when the reality is a lot of them are messed up mentally and have warped views of sex, both biologically and psychologically, because of things that was done to them as children, because they were traumatized and they either couldn't process it as trauma and seek help for it, or they normalized it. And so everything that got, all the wires that got twisted when they were little, never got untwisted as adults, and now they think this is perfectly fine. Well, I'm not the problem, you're the problem. This is normal. This is natural to me.
Shit is outrageous, bro.
This is what happens when we do not have a culture of holding women accountable. We have a culture for holding men accountable.
Yes, we do.
That train is chugging perfectly fine, keeps excellent time. We don't even so much as have a broken down dirt road in terms of infrastructure for holding women accountable.
Right.
And every time we try to get that cart rolling, we can barely get it down the goddamn block because the shit keeps hitting potholes, big ass obstacles, there's tree branches in the way, there's ditches, there's sinkholes, because the framework isn't in place. But we complain about the results of it, but we're not bothered enough to go ahead and get to the root cause. But we just like to bitch and moan about it. But are we going to actually fix it? Nah, that's too much of a problem. I guess we'll deal with it then. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's wild out here, bro. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up real quick. We want to make sure we talk about this because this kind of threw me for a loop, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to, before I get into this next segment, I want to make sure that I acknowledge this real quick. So, because this was a very big moment this year, I want to shout this brother out, and I want to shout out what he did. Shout out to our good brother, Aaron Atayero.
That's my final question then. Is it a yes for you for him?
It is.
Okay. And is it a yes for you for her?
I'm going to have to say no.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but
okay, why is it a no?
attractive lady. I like the way she speaks. The distance isn't the issue. The actual issue for me is I don't think I want to date a woman with daughters. Oh. I don't. That can be a very tricky slippery thing. Yep. And one daughter's 15 and that's I don't want to put myself in that kind of position. Not saying never negative. No, that's fair. Kids, but there is risk that go along with that. There's certain things that come into that, and when you haven't been there and you don't have that established demeanor and rapport with the children, it can be problematic, and I don't think I want to insert myself in that.
You're not wrong. It's better safe than sorry.
Correct. Absolutely.
I respect that.
Listen, that right there was a moment in time. You understand what I'm saying? And to add to the winners list of 2025, I would like to add brothers, disciplined brothers dating with intention. That right there is a big, big, big deal. Shout out to disciplined brothers dating with intention. We need to really, really, really get on that and beat that drum because, yo, let me tell you something, bruh. You got to be out here. She got 2 daughters. You can't make no mistakes. None. And the wherewithal, the presence of mind to know that going in. You understand what I'm saying? And not to say that, you know, maybe they're perfectly wonderful kids. Maybe they're angels. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to know the ledge, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be knowledgeable of everything. You understand? I sit down and I play chess with some of these guys and I beat them in 5 moves. And they're like, how the hell do you do this shit? Because I'm anticipating everything. I'm thinking literally 10 moves ahead of you. You understand what I'm saying? And this is how we need to get in life. When we're thinking 10 moves, okay, if this happens, I'm going to do that. If that happens, I'm going to do this. If this happens, I can't do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? You got influencers out here accusing brothers of shit because they don't want to date them no more. You understand what I'm saying? Victoria Everest. And then going and doing a damn podcast tour, giving interviews about how she falsely accused somebody. The fuck out of here. Nobody boiled her ass in oil. Are you serious? You're doing you should be ashamed to walk out of the house. You're doing interviews talking about how you're the victim because
sign
you
of the times.
Somebody.
Sign of the times.
It's despicable out here. And God bless that brother because he hit on something very key. You know, unfortunately, as Black men, you are at a disadvantage in any situation where there's adversity. You understand what I'm saying? When there's adversity and you talk about who's going to be believed and who is not, you are automatically at a disadvantage. Carry yourself accordingly. That was a moment. Shout out to those brothers who move like that. Go ahead, Bob.
And for the record, let me go ahead and add a little condiment to that.
Go ahead.
When we say diversity, we don't just mean in terms of ethnicity and race and skin complexion and religion and all that. We're also talking about the whole room is Black, the whole area is Black, but it's Black men and women as well too. Mm-hmm. Also speaking that as well too. So don't think, okay, he said diversity. Well, I just got to make sure that I'm in a room with people. Not just that.
No.
I want to say, speaking on that, and I wanted to take this time out to address a good brother. And the reason why I want to address him is because so many brothers out there do real good stuff. Like they have a real good heart. They're not on social media faking it or anything like that. They have a real good heart. This brother was very strategic about what he did, and he did one of the most amazing things that you would want a Black man to do. So the guy that I'm speaking about is Joshua Threat. And Joshua Threat is a Black man who was going to work in his vehicle and saw a young 6-year-old girl outside in the cold, no shoes, looking stranded.
Wow.
He said that so many
That was in Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah. He said that so many people drove by, nobody attended to this young girl trying to figure out what's going on. He got out of his truck or his vehicle and he walked up to the young girl, and he ended up figuring out that this young girl was supposed to go to school. Mind you, the school is 10 blocks away from where this young girl was. He did not put this young girl in his car.
Smart man.
Because he had the mindset to understand that even though I'm helping this young black girl, I am a black man who is automatically going to he's going to be deemed and looked at as a villain.
Yeah.
And can be caught up in some real serious shit if he does that.
Right.
This man went and put some shoes on this young girl's feet and walked with her all the way to school, and he had filmed it on live. When he got to the school, he ended up crying, and you know, he just wanted to make sure the young girl was okay. Come to find out, I think he has children. I think that's why he ended up having shoes, because I'm thinking, how the hell you get shoes that fast? But he did a phenomenal job, man. People have been calling him. He's been getting interviews. They don't put him on the news station, everything, right? He even has a GoFundMe and a donation thing, like if they want to contribute to him and everything like that. And people have been contributing to him. Phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I reached out to him to get him on this show.
Okay.
He hasn't replied back, right? 3 days later, which was the other day, I see his name pop up.
Yeah.
And I see another girl's name pop up with it. I go to click on it, and I'm reading the story behind it. So, in the midst of all this fame, a black girl ended up reaching out to him.
Okay.
She said to him, hey, reaching out to you, just wanted to know if you wanted to hang out, this and that.
Yeah.
He ends up going to pick this girl up. He picked the girl up, brought her to the house. Allegedly, from the story I'm reading, the girl got to his house.
No.
He let her in, got to the house. He says, listen, you know, you coming from outside, I don't allow people to have their outside clothes in my bedroom. She said, fine. She took off her clothes. She had on some underclothes underneath it.
How we get to the bedroom?
Huh?
How we get to the bedroom? You said his bedroom.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's what the story read. That's why I said I wanted him on.
Came back to the crib.
That's what the story was.
Okay.
Yeah. So she said, I guess the story was that when she went to go change into her more suitable clothes, she came back and this motherfucker, she said, was butt naked. She said that she told him, I wasn't coming over here for that. So he was like, well, you asked to come over here. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So he was like, all right, cool. So he put his clothes back on, per se. This is the story, alleged story that I got. He put his clothes back on and he proceeded to take her home.
Yeah.
She got on her live and she talked about the whole situation. The women was telling her like, hey, the fuck you coming to a man's house at 3 o'clock in the morning and thinking that he just want to talk, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get to hear his side of the story, but everybody was really getting on the young lady, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a guy, he ended up acknowledging that guy went to digging and found out that this girl also had text messages, and I screenshot it. So these text messages she sent to the DM of another guy, saying, hey, I'm interested in you. I wanted to know if you like me, am I your type, and this and that. And they were going back and forth. And he was like, how did you get my number? And she was like, oh, I got it from the girl. And is it okay, or whatever the case may be. So I'm saying all of this to say, have discipline to not put yourself in a fucked up situation, because to me, he got off pretty light, because this girl really could have really fucked his image all the way over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And too much times, like, fellas, y'all gotta have a mindset to understand that you're 24/7 in a game. This is a game. Life is a game.
Yeah.
I don't care how you look at it. Life is a game. Every day you're the player. You got to run out the door and make sure your life ain't getting you ain't getting killed.
Right.
You can't have another life. So you got to avoid all the traps and everything out there.
Man, look.
So how do you do something so good and end up putting yourself in a situation that would have dimmed and crushed your whole life? Not only that, you could have been thrown in jail, because if she would have said that you sexually assaulted her, or you came at her in a sexual way and attempted to rape her.
That's what I was afraid you were going to say, that she either tried to call the R word on him, or that she set him to get robbed. That's what I was hoping that's not what I heard, but that's what I was really waiting for that shoe to drop.
She could have done that, both incidents, which would have been real bad for him. And I'm like, and I'm only saying this because going into 2026, I want young brothers out there to understand the reality of what's going on and to better yourself so you don't get caught up in these traps, because it's not, remember this, always remember this. A man is guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
A woman is innocent until proven guilty. And even when she's guilty, there's excuses to still
even more gospel.
Yeah. Listen, and I would like to just take it a step further than that, gentlemen. This is where I come in with the whole vetting process. You know what I'm saying? We as men need to make sure that we are thoroughly vetting women to the point where we're not even entertaining women that go back to TikTok and tell our fucking business at all. But why are you talking to a woman like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, before you even invite, how did she get clearance to come to your place? Because she had a big butt and a smile? Because that ain't enough no more. You need to be thoroughly vetting these women, because they are reckless, they are hateful, and all they want is fucking attention.
And a come up.
And a come up. Why the fuck does the world need to know that happened between y'all? Why?
Clout chasing.
You know what I'm saying? And that clout chasing is very, very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some women who will call what he did sexual assault. You see the little bitch, the DoorDash girl?
Yep.
He walked in a man's house. He had his pants down. Oh, he sexually assaulted me. How?
You got that.
He has to leave the food at the door.
You got that. You got that woman that walked up on that brother streaming for his channel, went ahead and kissed him on his face without his permission. He turned her down. Yeah. Now she's trying to act as though it was the other way around. Yeah. Like, ma'am, you're literally on video. You looked at the camera and everything, waved and all that stuff. You forced yourself on him.
Bruh.
And now you're trying to say that all of us saw something different. Bruh. But again, this is the mind. They didn't have, I'm pretty sure they didn't have this in mind when they wrote those lines. But brothers, you have to keep in your head at all times what Mobb Deep said. There is a war going out in the streets no man is safe from. And it's on multiple fronts, unfortunately. Yeah. Now, you can sit there, you can bitch and moan and complain about how it's not fair, it's not right, this is terrible. You could do that. That is a legitimate option that's on the table, and many exercise it. Or you can say, you know what? I got these 5 cards. They're absolute ass and skid marks. But regardless, I'm going to take these 5 hands and God damn it, I'm going to play the best game of poker I can. And if it's even remotely possible for me to sneak out a win, damn it, we going to do that. You can adopt that mindset. I would prefer, and everyone's not like me. Everyone's not like Major. Everyone's not like Ant. But we are of the mindset that we would like to play these cards because we have these 5 cards, and I don't care how upset you are about it, you are not getting another card. You cannot trade a card in. There's no freebies on the ground. You have what you have. So you can moan and complain, or you can suck it up, Buttercup, and get to work.
Yeah. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Brothers got to be very careful out here. That shit happened to me. At work, I hugged a girl. I hugged a girl at work. This was years ago. But I'm saying I hugged a girl at work. Some monstrous looking girl when she reported me for sexual harassment because I hugged somebody else. Oh, the way I hugged her, I was all up on her and it made her feel uncomfortable. You got to watch these people, man. You got to watch them. They are hateful. They are spiteful. They are despicable, miserable people. A lot of them. Not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them, and you don't know who's who.
And that's the problem because, again, there could be 1 million people in the city that aren't like that at all. But unfortunately, you only need one. Yeah. And the worst part about it, and what makes it, what's really so tragic about the situation is that, and if there was ever a concept of, because the reality is fair really isn't even a word that even should be in our lexicon if we're being honest about it. Last time I checked, not a single one of us were born and got a pamphlet in our hands coming out of the uterus, thank you, that said, here is the list of all the guarantees and benefits and rewards that you're supposed to have. This is what's fair, what's not fair. We get that on the job in our employee handbook. None of us got a life handbook coming out of the womb that said this is what we're guaranteed, what we're owed. None of us. And yet so much of us like to harp on and bandy on about what's fair and what's not fair. Like the old heads used to say, a fair is a place where they set where you can bid on pigs and win prizes. That's what a fair is. That's what a fair is. Ain't no such thing as fair. But if such a concept could actually exist, arguably the most unfair thing is you could literally live an honorable, righteous, noble life. You can be without blemish, you could be as blameless as Christ Jesus himself. You can make it to 70 years strong. You're the pillar of upstanding and right and morality and everything. And despite that hell of a track record, you just need one incident, just one thing. I just had one bad day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I didn't have my coffee. I stepped on a crack, broke my mother's back. I broke a mirror, got 7 years bad, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. But I just had one bad day. I got out of character one time. And every single good year, month, day, week, hour, minute, second, nanosecond of my life before that, it don't mean shit.
Right.
I am being held to account for my worst moment in my life, and none of the other moments beforehand are buying me any leeway or any sway. Meanwhile, you have some people on the other way where they have one bad moment, and everything they do afterwards, it's up here.
Yeah.
But there's always that asterisk that follows them.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and again, I'm not trying to make it sound hopeless or desperate. I'm really not trying to make it sound that way, but we're really trying to reinforce the notion that you really have to be on your square. You have to be mindful. This is not a life. This is not an existence for the people that just want to zone out and tune out and just let the flies use your mouth as an airport. They come in and come out. You got to be mindful. You got to be with it. You got to be aware.
Facts. Yes, sir. Well said, Bobby Drake. Well said. And we're going to go ahead and clear it out with this before we get into the crowd check. I meant to bring this up earlier, man. We a little over tonight. But it's our last show. Maybe we go just a little over to you know, leave the people with a little something special.
Go out with a bang.
Gotta talk about this, man. Gotta talk.
And now it's time for trending celebrity news. Take it away, fellas.
Alright.
This is my HR, in light of what we just spoke about. This is my HR competent wave. Hello, thank you. We appreciate your efforts.
All right, Bobby Drake. That's what it is. Check this shit out. Oh, this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be a fan for a day, cause she lit this bitch up. I'll be a fan for a day.
Telling me to come down while we're building. I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. The idea that she does not have time. She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times, she made time to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India. She has also made time for an upcoming CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So Erica Kirk has time. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars. Like, you know, they made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like Let Them Eat Cake-ish. And we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk Show is my family. You know, like she's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique. Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to like launder the reputation of that's fam. I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my, don't you get me upset. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions. So people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to like mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of the multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids, so you can't critique them. Not a good idea.
Yo! I know her asshole is burning, boy. She lit her ass up.
As far as broken clock moments go, that has to be a Hall of Fame broken clock. Look, hey.
Bruh, and it's long as
I don't have to like it, but there's one thing that I am obligated to do by contract. I must give the devil her due when it's due.
He lit her muppet mouth ass up. Listen.
I'm surprised that AK didn't have a malfunction, boy. Them rounds that was flying, man.
What? Erica Kirk asshole is burning somewhere, bro. She lit her ass up. It's longer than that, but that's just, you know, the Cleveland Notes version. You dig?
This has been a very enjoyable Civil War, I must say.
Oh man, I'm loving this white on white violence. I'm like shit, because
whoever said nobody wins when the family feuds is a bald-headed, lily-livered lie. Because we win.
I ain't gonna lie, because you know You see these Karens and their bullshit all the time, and nobody ever checks them. You know, nobody ever comes out and just kind of smack them the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because the men can't get but so into it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to look away if we get into it too much with a woman, and then, you know, the women, they feel away. They don't want to get involved, and, you know, whatever. But Candace Owens is a woman. You understand what I'm saying? And she's not afraid. You know what I mean? And I we'll go back to criticizing Candace Owens for the Sambo that she is tomorrow. But today, I'm going to have to give her some props for that, because that needed to be said. Erica Kirk has been running around here like Mother Teresa for the past, couple months since, unfortunately, her husband got murdered, whatever the case may be. And she's just been, you talk about somebody making money. Y'all made $140 million off of this shit. They were selling T-shirts at the fucking memorial, dude. What are you talking about? Are you serious? The man wasn't even cold, and she's out here talking about how, she's assuming leadership, and she's organizing a tour, and, you know, setting up meetings and all this shit, or whatever the case may be, putting all kind of weird ass posts up on his Instagram, talking about how, you know, he didn't own me, he didn't run me. Look at his Instagram when you see that shit. But she put up a angry ass feminist post like a couple of days after he was killed. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Sex, death, and contract.
She was
good.
She was a plant.
Yeah, she was a plant. We all know that, but goddamn, you had to be so obvious. You don't think somebody's gonna sniff that shit out? I don't give a fuck one way or the other. But when you start, you know, every other story is about her now. You know what I'm saying? And they, you should feel so sorry. And they're criticizing black folks because, you don't care about Charlie Kirk. And, the widow is that. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they keep talking about it. So it forces us to have to talk about it. And so since we're talking about it, okay, what do you do when you talk about something? You educate yourself on the facts of the situation that you're talking about. And, dude, since he passed, she's been acting fucking weird. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And when nobody says it because everybody's trying to be polite and all this shit and walk on, want to tread lightly and not, upset the grieving widow. And it's like, she don't act like a grieving widow.
Not very widowly.
And that's all Candace. And she's like, this is some bullshit, and then the people at his organization tell a lie every other hour and talk about how she's telling lies. They've used his death to make. She up here criticizing people making money off of talking about the death, but she, on the same interview, she's talking about selling her book. What are we doing? You understand? This man ain't even been. The man is barely cold, and she's out here just milking that shit. And Candace called her the fuck out. I thought that was epic. What y'all say on that?
Yeah, that whole situation, like I say, he was promoted and elevated to that level. Like I said, the whole thing about the livestock, you feed your livestock, you watch your livestock get fat, you play with your livestock, and then the next minute you preparing your livestock on the dinner table. Yeah. And that's what they pretty much had Charlie Kirk as. And we always see movies like that, right? We see movies where this guy is just living his life, and then all of a sudden he meets this woman, and then when he gets caught or he gets killed, and in the midst of it, it starts to unravel that this lady was planted into his life and part of his demise. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets taken out and she takes over. So it's always a part. There's always a system and a part that of the matrix that you start to see the glitches. And that's what she's pointing out, is the glitches in the system, because you really wasn't supposed to see it like that. And also when you get these certain people that they agree to the money and the benefits on the long term. So during the process, they had to go through this grueling effect of performative, relationships and a performative life. And they just wanted it to be over. And as soon as it's over, and they realize, okay, now is your time to really glorify and take more of the notoriety and get the fame that you've been wanting for yourself, because you've been in the shadows trying to play the role of something that they wanted the public to feel that was real. And then so now she's out there, and some people, they don't know how to play the script out. So as soon as they see that, they're just jumping on it because they don't know what timeline they have before it all tanks. And that's why you see the glitches in the parts of the fucked up reality that's coming out to everybody. So I always tell people, you know who else is like that? People not gonna want to believe me, but Obama.
Oh, of course. Of course, he's like that's.
But you can't talk about it because the records are destroyed. Once you get into office, you can destroy records. But if you know and you follow the pattern, and I've been doing this research from way back in the late 90s, and you'll see the matrix and you'll see the glitches. And then some of the glitches came out recently. And that motherfucker's like, what? The fuck you just say about Obama? And then she had to pull back like, no, I didn't say it like that. I didn't mean it like that. But yeah, there's a lot of families that you think is families, and Bill Clinton and Hillary, another one. So I'll land my plane on that.
Go ahead, Bobby Drake.
No, absolutely right. Look, politics is war. Always has been, always will be. And this is why the best description of what we see in these newspapers, on these TVs, on these news channels, and all these other outlets, these podcasts now, as well, to go along with it. All of this is nothing more than political theater.
True.
That's all it is. What we're all witnessing, and we get so caught up and lose our senses and sensibilities in supporting different candidates and different political parties and these measures, these bills and legislations that are put up and everything else. It's all nonsense. A lot of this is scripted. A lot of this is set to run a certain way. And we're all supposed to be in alignment. And that's why you see the violent reactions in some cases from some of these people when the populace doesn't go along with the script.
Right.
And you really saw this with the response to Black people in the last couple of elections, because Black people, especially foundational Black Americans, have been saying, look, we're sick and tired of all the nonsense. Everything must come to an end. All empires eventually crumble. And so one of the issues that they were having was that, well, you know what, there's starting to be a waning of interest and support from Black people for the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
Because for better or for worse, we are the answer. We are the issue that they have not been able to solve, because you have this unemployed labor force that we're supposed to be over here. And since emancipation, from their perspective, you have a whole bunch of freeloaders laying about, not working, not doing what they were designed to do. We can't send them back.
Yeah.
Because most of them are from here already. It's another story for another day. But we can't eliminate them because it's going to make us look horrible on the world stage. We will lose any and all rights and leverage in global geopolitical politics. How do we solve the Negro problem? So we got to get them to buy into the system. That's why you see all this pressure. If you notice, and this even goes back even to the 90s, when you look at pressure to vote and voter initiatives, you specifically see pressure to vote being placed on the minority communities, but it's primarily in Black communities. And that didn't start recent. That has been a thing.
Yep.
There's this motivation. We got to get Black people out to the polls. All these campaigns. You'll see a couple jingles and stuff here for the Hispanics and whatnot, but most of the advertisement, most of the appeals are made to Black people.
Yes, they are.
Why is that? It's because black people, the foundational black Americans, the descendants of the slaves, they represent the moral compass of this country, of this planet, because no people has suffered the way these people have. And so if you want to really sell the idea, we see in domestic violence disputes, right? When 12 pulls up to the house, we got a call about this domestic disturbance out here, 10-4. What's going on here? And you see the abusive husband. Well, nothing's happening here, officer. You know, we just had a little spirited discussion earlier, but me and my wife Maud here, as you can see, we're doing just fine. Isn't that right, honey? And you got black people, the battered spouse wives, the big old black eye and the crack rims with the big old gigantic shades on, playing the role of the battered spouse. Yes, officer, everything's fine. You know, my husband's been really good to me. You know, nothing's happening. You know, we have that's what's basically going on. America is trying to sell the notion that the black people here are being well taken care of. They're not battered spouses. They're just fine. See how they participate in our political systems? They have a voice. They're heard. Their causes are championed. That's what's happening. When Obama was elected, that was the last little carrot they had dangling in front of it. The hope that, what was it Tupac said? Although it seems, heaven said, when the rains have like president. That was a carrot. Well, maybe if we get a black person in office, we'll get the changes that we need. And they messed around and got to a point where they figured out this is the last trick we can play. Let's give them the black president. And when black people saw nothing was improved, only symbolic things were done, that's when the withdrawal started happening. You have black people now advocating. Before it was vote blue no matter who. Now you have black people advocating for voting for the couch. Sit on the couch, not voting.
Facts.
And that's been the issue, because if black people aren't voting, regardless of who they're voting for, the biggest issue isn't black people voting for Republicans. The biggest issue is black people not voting, because that says we don't see this system as legitimate. We see that no matter how much we participate, nothing changes for us. There is no democracy. So until things change, we're not getting engaged. And that means, wait a minute. We can see that black eye now. I see the swelling. I see those bruises on the wrist. Wait a second. Station, send some additional officers out here. Sir, why don't you go ahead and get your knees. No sudden moves. Now it looks like, wait a second, we're calling bullshit. They did the same thing in World War II. They sent journalists to Nazi Germany to see what's going on over here. We've been getting reports that there's abuse going on. I'm about to wind down right now. We see that we heard signs of abuse going on here of the German of the small hat populace. Is everyone okay here? And they had their token sellouts. They had their coons, their Sambos up there, living well, saying, "Well, you know, my name is Mr. Schmitz, and you see here, I live in this nice penthouse down here in downtown Berlin. I'm doing well. I'm good friends with our fearless leader. If we're being persecuted, could I live like this? Could I be doing this well?" And when it finally came down, action was taken. It's very important they get black people to buy into the system, because if not, that opens them up to liability.
Facts.
So understand, when you see this Charlie Kirk and everything else nonsense, it's very important that the script goes the way they need it to, because when it starts falling apart, that's when opportunities become available for other world powers. So keep that in mind. This is political theater. What you're seeing on your CNN, C-SPAN, MSNBC, Fox, Faux News, it's not real. It's a Hollywood production.
Well said.
And if you want to know more about that, and I love our movies back in the day. They came with messages, but two powerful movies. If you want to get more of a visual, watch The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
And The Manchurian Candidate.
Oh, I had that. I had my wife watch that. I was like, this is a mandatory movie. We need to watch this together. We watched that, The Manchurian Candidate.
That last film, I would definitely recommend that folks actually go out and buy on DVD or whatever. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm surprised that's not one of the films that they've actually tried to censor and ban or whatever. That really should be up there. I hope I'm not giving that away, but y'all go ahead, if y'all have it, go hit Amazon or wherever, see if you can cop that and actually get an actual copy for yourself before they start doing their hijinks and their hinkery.
Facts. because man, that movie is so deep. Sheesh. I looked for that movie. I'm like, I told my wife, we have to watch this.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually go. As soon as we leave, I'm gonna go ahead and get that myself, and I'm gonna probably go on somebody's site or somebody's platform. I'm gonna watch it again because I remember the movie. I saw it when I was younger, but as an adult now, with the exposure I have and the knowledge I have and the awareness I have now, I'm very positive that's gonna be one of those films that's gonna hit a whole different way now.
Yeah. It's gonna hit way different.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Well said, well said. All right, so let's go ahead and do it, man. We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
This is the Crown Check segment where we honor our queens. Respect.
Welcome to our Crown Check segment. You know what I'm saying? We gotta shut it down for the sister right here, representing hard. We love to talk about brilliant sisters and their contributions to Black society. Let's do it.
Need to know Jackie Orms. She didn't just draw comics, she rewrote the story for Black representation. Here's how her art shattered stereotypes. In the 1930s, while most comics stuck to tired cliches, Jackie Orms was busy breaking them. Her character, Torchy Brown, leapt across newspapers as bold, stylish, and smart. Everything the mainstream refused to show. Through Torchy, Orms gave Black readers a heroine who looked like them and for them. But Jackie didn't stop there. With Patty Joan Ginger, she tackled real issues. Segregation, education, even war, all in one clever panel after another. Patty Jo wasn't just a comic star, she became one of the first respectful black dolls in America, changing playtime forever. Jackie Orms didn't just draw cartoons. She drew dignity, she drew power, she drew a future where black creators could thrive. And that, comic fans, is a legacy inked in courage.
Shout out to our good sister Jackie Orms. That sister contributed quite a bit to Black representation in comics, and like he was saying there, Black representation is important, especially for Black women. That's why I get so angry when I see some of these female rappers out here representing Black women as horribly as they possibly can. You know what I'm saying? This sister went out of her way not just to, draw characters that were smart and funny and, charismatic, but she also talked about social issues in her art. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I miss about hip hop. Hip hop used to be like that. You talk about social issues in the art, give you something that you can leave with, something you can take home with. It's just a comic, but it's not just a comic. You understand what I'm saying? This is one of those sisters who pioneered that, and that is something that we need to revere and duplicate. You understand what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. My mom, she does that. My mom writes books. She writes children's books, and in her children's books, she talks about, things that are relevant and pertinent going on in society. It's a children's book, so she makes it digestible for kids, but she makes sure that it's not just a children's book talking about, see spot, run, hit spot, whatever the case may be. That's not what we're doing. It's never been what we've done as Black folks. As storytellers, we always incorporate messages into our art to help our people and move our culture forward. Shout out to that sister. That is this week's Crown Check. Yes. Go ahead, gentlemen. Take it away.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Great show tonight. Hope that you guys utilize all the information that we get to make you a better person in 2026. Be very strategic about how you move and get stuff done out here. One thing I don't like is the fact that I see a lot of us Black folks are getting into AI, but we're utilizing AI in the wrong way. I see a lot of Black women utilizing AI for body sculpting and catfishing. Take that talent, man, and start, you could start doing your own film. This is the time where you can branch off the system and really build some real financial wealth for yourself. And like the Crown Check woman herself, go out there and put an image that we don't see. There's a starving community for Black excellent images,
Yes.
videos,
Yes.
and movies. Like,
Mhm.
get into that way. Be different.
Mhm.
You know, you're doing everything that everybody else is doing. You don't stand out. Be different. Do something that when you pass away, they could be like, yo, she really did that, or he
Yeah.
really did that. You know, so be the change you want to see. That's always been my motto. Be the change you want to see. It starts with you. So create that wave. And I'm telling you, people will jump on it and ride and support it. It's a lost art out there. It's a big need for it. So, all right. And we'll see you in 2026. So don't.
That's what it is. That's what it is, gang. Yay. Bobby Drake.
Absolutely, man. Look, big ups to her for what she's doing. Shout out to all the sisters out here that are gifted with the pen game and the pencil game and the art forms. Shout out to my homegirl, Kim Mosberry, amazing Black animator. You know, I like what you was talking, and I like that. We really need to make that another thing in 2026. We really need to start brainwashing ourselves. And when I say brainwashing, I don't mean go and sit in front of some TV with a little helmet on and strapped in, and all of a sudden you get gobbledygook put in. But I mean that in the literal sense of the word. You need to take your brain, get you a nice little Mr. Clean Magic eraser, get you some Clorox or whatever, and get to scrubbing. Because there's a lot of bullshit that's caked in and stuck on, a lot of feces, fecal matter, and stuff that's jammed up in there. And that's not an insult, because you live in the society, you live in the environments we live in. There's a lot of that bullshit that has seeped in and stewed in and really become part of the fibers of our minds. So much so to the point that when we're out and about in our dealings with each other, with other places and areas we're going into, we bring that with us, and it brings the worst out of us, and it brings mediocrity out of us. And for the future that is on its way, we can't be that way. No, the interesting thing is there's a lot of fear that I hear from people, and I'm not going to say that you're wrong to feel one way about it or the other about AI and automation, but the reality is that it's here. It's not going away. There will be those who are left behind, but there will be those who will be able to be launched forward because of it.
Yes.
And I need to see a lot less people foot dragging, because it's inevitable. It's there's no point protesting, and it's not going anywhere. There's too much money that's already been invested in it. It is not even the future. It is the right now. Instead of whining and complaining about how it's going to take your job or afraid it's going to make us irrelevant, you need to find ways on how you can get in the mix, and not to do nonsense like Ann said, because we're using it. You're on ChatGPT. You're on
Gemini
and all this stuff. You're on these platforms. You're doing stuff. You're making funny little pictures and memes and everything else. So you're using it, but you're not using it to empower yourself, to generate revenue, to go ahead and build up your coffers. So I don't want to hear complaints about how scary and dangerous AI is when you got it right here and using it for nonsense. It's so scary. It's so scary, but you're using it to put up your profile pictures, right?
But check it.
Get out my face and stop playing with me. I'll
We
smack
shouldn't
you.
be surprised, because look how they use the internet for bullshit. We use the internet.
Exactly.
We use the internet to talk to our people and help them elevate. They use the internet for bullshit, to post twerk videos.
When people were writing on stone,
yachts and all this dumb shit.
when people were writing on planks of wood and stone, and someone said, "Hey, I got this thing called paper," there are people that were terrified about paper, about papyrus. I don't want to say, "Hey, man, what's wrong? Nothing wrong with this over here. It's good. I don't know how to use that." All right, don't worry about that. Then they went ahead and they started developing systems where they can go ahead and use tools to imprint and stamp and create letters and actual symbols. But we don't need that. I can carve those just fine. My hand carved stuff looks better than that. Then someone came along and invented the typewriter.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this? We don't need no typewriters. What's wrong with these? We have perfectly good stamps that do the same damn thing. Then somebody came along and created the computer. Whoa. We can't use all this computer stuff. What's that on this? That's a screen now. I'm supposed to trust that? No, I like my typewriters. They work just fine. Advancement in technology has always been a thing. It always has been. There's going to be something that comes along after AI, believe it or not.
There is.
The question is, are we, the people who are supposed to be the creators of civilization, are we going to be at the helm, leading the charge, or are we going to be left behind, sucking wind? That's the question.
Well,
sisters like this, I'm convinced, this sister, she'd been right there taking AI, and she'd been using it the same way how she used the mediums that she had to make a difference. She'd have been right there trailblazing, using AI for our benefit. We need to pick up her mantle and do like she did. Family, it's been a hell of a 2025. It really has. We appreciate all the new family members that have joined up with us, that have linked up and connected up with us for Manifestation 2020. All of our guests this year, you've been amazing. You've really helped to challenge us and push us and to take our content into new directions. We're grateful for the relationships we've been able to make with you. Everyone on IG, Facebook, all you places, YouTube, thanks for tuning with us this whole year. We promise you that next year, we're taking up another level as before because we practice what we preach on this platform.
It's going down next year.
So please believe, if you like this year, next year's going to be a real treat for us. We'll catch you all next year. As always, we encourage you to stay safe, stay aware, stay dangerous. Make sure that you're empowering yourselves and your loved ones. Be safe this holiday season. Heads on a swivel. Until the new year, 2026, I got my brother, Major Gage, on my right shoulder. I got my Ace Boone Coon, Anthony Malcolm, on my left shoulder. And I am the month-long birthday boy, Bobby Drake. And from us at Manifestation 2020, we wish you a happy holidays and a happy new year. We out here.
Yeah.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. A place where we inform. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Focus shall make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. A place where we inform. Manifestation. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. A place where we inform. Manversations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage. We are. This is Manversations 2020.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. A place where we inform, build, and inspire.